All right. Everybody's running flat over on that side. Looking good. All right. So we're gonna need 2 blocks, a bolster, and blankets today. So we're gonna work a little bit on the neck and vagus nerve, and then on the hips. So we're going to start with a 3-part breath meditation. So we sit cross-legged. You can even put a blanket underneath your hips to get those hips more elevated and allow the knees to drop comfortably. And 3-part breaths means that we're going to breathe this level and then chest level and collarbone level. So the breath starts from the navel, from the belly, below the navel. So we can sometimes just put our hands to feel how the navel expands, just to kind of know that we're doing that breath. Sometimes we cannot tell. So if we feel, we're like, oh, for sure, I can breathe through my navel, So let's go ahead and inhale all the way to the lower belly. Let the belly expand. Then add a little bit more. Let your rib cage flare out and lift. And then breathe a little bit more, one more sip to feel the breath traveling to the collarbone. In the meantime, you keep your spine tall and erect, uplifting that energy. And then we exhale, fully exhale, squeeze the navel to the spine. And then we inhale again, feel up the lower belly. Sip a little bit more to the diaphragm, middle of the chest. And another sip to feel more breath coming in all the way to the collarbones. Hold it for a moment or two. And then exhale, squeezing the navel and squeezing all the stagnant air out. And then you're ready for another inhale. Lower area, middle, and top. Now that you got to feel that you're actually doing this movement, let your hands rest on the knees on Dhyan Mudra with the index and thumb together. And palms relax and open. And continue to breathe in this way, focusing on the belly expanding, the rib cage inflating, and the collarbones widening out, creating more space at the top of the lungs. So we're filling this container with air, with new oxygenated flow to bring more aliveness in this torso, this chest cavity, and lower abdomen. Conscious breathing is very important to practice just because when we rush and struggle and fight against this and think about that, we forget to breathe properly. And when we don't breathe properly, our energy drops, the brain stops working and functions in a very erratic way. So we lose our mind, we lose our thoughts, we struggle and we fight against everything, and that wastes even more energy. And it's not conducive to well being. So, practicing health, conscious breathing throughout the day. Maybe you start the day with a meditation where you connect with the life force in you, the breath. And maybe you do it again at lunchtime, at least for 2 minutes, and then again at night before you go to bed. And you stay more connected throughout the day because the body knows that reset, that place where it wants to go. Your mind knows, like, oh, I'm not feeling well right now. What can I do? Well, I can just breathe. So let's do 3 more cycles here. Because as we know, when we use the breath, we can influence the heart and the brain. They are connected. When we breathe slower and we extend the exhalation, we slow down the heart rhythm and the velocity of the thoughts. We slow down our thoughts. We create more gaps between the thoughts. And those gaps are glimpses of eternity. They're very precious. And at first, they're very, very small gaps, millions of a second. And you feel, that felt so good. Then, as you practice more, they expand more and more. And you get to have a clear tabula rasa kind of mind for a longer time. And then your nervous system learns to go there and reset itself. But it does take practice and mindfulness, which means just simply being aware. So meditation simply being with what is, being with the present moment, with the feelings that arise in the body, with the emotions, with the heat, with the thoughts, the crazy thoughts mainly, because most of them are kind of crazy and not true. We probably think more than 70,000 thoughts a day, and only about 9% of them are valuable, important, productive, and innovative. The rest are just junk, recycled thoughts that I have, you have, your parents had, your ancestors had. They're based on fear and repetitive thinking and preconceived notions. So we can discard about 91% of what we think, or at least do not buy into it, do not believe it as true, and do not follow that train of thought. Just stop it when you see it and go to the breath. Thoughts are very important. What we think becomes the habit in the mind, a habitual pattern, a pathway that we create. If we think a thought over and over, it becomes a habitual tendency. A habitual tendency becomes our doing, our actions, our life. So it's very important to discriminate what thoughts we have throughout the day. So if you see a negative thought, something that doesn't resonate with well-being, conducive to health, you discard it and replace it with a positive thought. And sometimes it takes 10 or 20 positive thoughts to counteract a negative thought because they do have more power. Out of need of protection, the human mind always perceives the world through the negative mind because he wants to be protected. When you encounter a stranger on the street and you don't see them very well, first is a negative mind. You judge them, what they wear, how they behave, what they say, how they walk. So you're trying to protect yourself by trying to know how that person feels to you. So it's, or a threat comes in a forest, obviously you want to know. But there's not that many threats right now, but that's just the nature of the mind. And knowing that, we need to learn to get through that process fast and then come to a neutral mind and then to a positive mind. After we assess the situation, we can become neutral. Okay, maybe this person is okay. It's okay to talk to them, to get closer. And then maybe you find something good about that encounter with that person to turn it into a positive. Okay. So let's practice this today in our practice. And maybe as you go home tonight, you have an encounter or a conversation or a situation, and see if you can become aware of those three levels of the mind, how we encounter the world. All right, so let's make an intention to get through that negative mind state really quickly and to become more neutral and then possibly positive by the end of class. And we still practice gratitude because as we do that, we will bring more of the same. We're grateful for the fact that we woke up today. So let's start with that. All right. So first thing I want to do, we're going to turn into a mermaid pose here. So we're going to bring both knees. Maybe actually if your legs got a little stiff, let's go ahead and shake them down a little bit. And move them and stretch them and maybe massage them. And for mermaid pose, we're going to bring the knees on one side with the feet kind of being that tail of the mermaid. Then we sit up tall. Maybe we need a little blanket under the left side if you feel a little bit constrained here. So put your little blanket or the edge of a small bolster if you have it. Don't want to sit too high, but just a little help could be good. Okay, so now we're going to inhale, bring the left arm up, and exhale, right hand to the left knee. So let's stretch this arm up and then slightly over, trying to feel the opening from the hip crest here into the rib cage and then the armpit. And then maybe through the arm and shoulder all the way to the hand. How's the music level today? Can you guys hear me? Okay, good. Put it down just a bit. So we're going to breathe here onto the left side of the body. We're going to bring some new energy, some fresh energy into that side, okay? So stay there and see how it feels. If you need to be, like I said, off the floor a bit, use your blanket. If you want to have that, the hips kind of balanced, they're not going to be whacked up, or we don't want to do that. So it's just about opening, not so much reaching a certain place or destination. Just noticing how this feels first in your hip, or you may actually find that another place screams first. It can be your arm, your upper arm. So this can be challenging because arms above the head, they get to be challenging because we just don't do this kind of movement. But that's why we have yoga. Can I touch your hand? Okay. So let's just extend first. Don't worry about reaching over. So keep it up straight. And eventually the gravity can help it. Um, just open more through here like that. Actually, so you guys doing okay? Okay, that looks good. Maybe you do need a blanket on this side too, or the bolster? No, oh, you want your ankle safe. Okay, got it. But then you feel a little bit of balance. So you need something here too. Okay. Do you want me to sit on? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Because that side was too low compared to that one. Good. So, all right, much better. Yeah. Good. Continue to breathe and see where you still feel some stagnation, some resistance. And even if you just have the arm up reaching towards your head to help have a posture of relaxation, that's okay too. So we're breathing into these very compacted, constricted areas in the body that don't get to breathe, like our chest here. We can breathe into here anytime we want, but also we can constrict here and we can constrict the side. So it's just a time to access those areas, give them some love and some compassion. And we also breathe into the side of the heart. We may get through some blockages, some restrictions built by the walls around the heart. So breathe through any blockages you find, allowing the exhalation to release any stagnant energy. Two more breaths. And you may feel like you're going against 1,000 years of stagnation, which is probably true. And exhale, release. Okay, slowly and gently move to center. And we'll switch. The legs go to the left. Let them be staggered, not stacked. And this time we'll bring the right arm up. Reach up tall first. Lengthen that arm. Lengthen all the way from the hip bone. And here again, if you need something under your ankle and something under your hip, go ahead and do that. Good. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale. Just start to open all the way from the hip. Not so much about the arm reaching, about the whole side opening. So that's what you want to have in mind. And imagine that you're lengthening your whole spine as well, and you're opening and breathing through this right lung that has three lobes. It's a big lung. So let's increase the capacity of this organ on this right side of the body. Because we do have a normal capacity of 3,000 cubic centimeters, but we basically not even use a third of that. Sometimes we breathe at a 300, 400, maximum 700 in normal people. When you work out regularly or you're an athlete, that increases a bit, but still we have more room there than we could imagine. Increasing, maybe holding the breath in a certain point where you feel tension. Your mind intention, the breath energy can change that up for you. The intention of the mind connected with the bioenergy of the body can switch from disease to ease, from malaise to ease, from anything that we need to change and transform, we can transmute energy by using simple awareness and breath and intention. Your body also needs attention. Every body part is a unit in its own, and it has life. So it wants to be acknowledged, taken care of just like you do. It wants to be seen, to be loved, and taken care of. And as we acknowledge all the body parts and we give them some attention and compassion, they work better for us. They open up, they breathe, they smile, they recover faster, they regenerate, they become younger. The telomeres lengthen, and those things in our DNA, we have telomere, it's like a tail. And when that lengthens, that means we have a longer life expectancy, better quality of life, and stay younger and enjoy life more. One more breath here. See where you want to send it. Maybe to your armpit for the lymphatic flow, to your shoulder. Good. And exhale, gently release. Take a breath and come back into center. Extend the legs out for a moment. And let's give them a nice massage. Just kind of walk your hands up and down your legs, touching your legs, feeling your legs, your energy. Give them some love. They've been standing or sitting all day. Be grateful for your legs, your feet, your ankles, your toes, one by one. All right, let's bring it to the knees and give them some soft energy. Rub around your knees in a circle. All right. Now, the second pose we're going to do is called shoelace pose. We're going to bring the left knee under and right knee is going to cross on top. If he doesn't want to cross, keep it where he wants to be. And you can even put a block underneath it so he has something to sit on because otherwise it was going to sit on the knee. But if we have it out there, you can sit it on a block. So it's like your legs are cross-legged like a shoelace if you come to that position. If not, use the block. And then we're going to sink forward a little bit and maybe use the other block to rest our hands on or elbows, depending on how much you want to go. Because the further out you go, the more you activate the top hip. So you want to find a level where it's comfortable just before you get to any discomfort and stay there. Now you're activating this right area, piriformis, TFL. And this side may feel a little different. It can be your challenging side or your easy side. Without any judgment, just with compassion, assess what you can do here, what you can change, any helpers you need, block or bolster or blanket. Use them so your body feels okay to be here. And just be grateful for this opportunity to open up this hip joint today, for the day itself that we are given, cloudy or cold or dark, whichever way it is. It is another day we had experience on Earth.